So far, I probably made over 150 beats inside this machine since then.
Armed with a Roland MV8000, RZA has become the ninja master of slice and dice sampling. A native of Brooklyn, New York, that is, the hip-hop icon has brought his signature chopped audio sound to Tinseltown, and film directors are fighting to get a piece of it. Kill Bill's Volume 1 and 2, Blade Trinity, Ghost Dog, and the upcoming Miami Vice big screen blockbuster are prime examples of RZA's stylized music for picture. However, film is just one piece of RZA's creative catalog. As a founding member of the Wu Tang Clan, he played a vital role in shaping the hip-hop history by contributing to dozens of influential releases. With his custom-painted MV8000 in tow, RZA paid a visit to Roland U.S. headquarters recently. What follows are some of the highlights of our in-studio conversation.
Man, how I got into this MV8000 is kind of crazy because I was working on a movie called Blade Trinity, right? And every time I get a new project, I strive to get a new machine. So I'm in the store, and I've seen the Roland MV8000 a few times in the store, played with it, but never went for it. And I own a MC909. And the 909 got a function on it, the turntable emulation, which to me is one of the best time compressors made for digital audio. So I said, let me try the MV8000. So I bought it, took it home, stayed on it 6, 7, 8 hours, couldn't make a beat. You know what I mean? First thing I did was call the guy at the store the next day, cursed him out. I was like, yo, how come I can't import my CD file without importing the whole song? And he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Let me call somebody from Roland. And I get on the phone with the guy. The guy's like, I think I know what the problem is. And what happened, I wound up getting the old software. And he put the new software in. And he spent about 5 minutes with me, just showing me a few things. And after that, I was hooked on the machine. You know what I mean? So it started off, start off with me with a bad attitude at first. Turned out, the MV is really one of the most user-friendly drum machine type of sampler out there, because unlike the MPC, the access to your sounds and how you want to edit your sounds and all those things is at a snap of a button. So far, I probably made over 150 beats inside this machine since then. If you check out the movie Blade Trinity, and you hear the song that we did called Fatal, that song was basically founded in the MV8000. And that song was another example where I had to take a sample from an old Lou Reed, Velvet Underground, and alter it in the machine, chop it up how I wanted it, and then, put instrumentation on top of it. What made the MV also fat is this. You got the BPM sync to it. And so by doing that, the particular sample I used for the Lou Reed had to be stretched out. And it was able for me to stretch it out quick without going to my computer, all done inside the machine. So listen for that song, Fatal. You'll hear some of the MV. And more than anything, really, for the newest project I'm working on right now, which is Only Built for Cuban Links Part 2, which is a follow-up to the Raekwon classic Cuban Links. And at least 60% of that album has been produced on the MV. And also the sound of this machine is also pretty crazy too, y'all. The time compression, the BPM map you got on it, and the clipboard to the quick edit is just so easy for me, you know what I mean? It's so fast that I don't lose my idea by the time I want to get to making my music. And that's important before producer, musicians, or whatever. An idea come and go. If you got to sit there for 10 minutes and to truncate this and do all these things you got to do to make your chop work, you forget what you was going to do. If you could do it quick and just put it there, it just helps out so much faster. It's like most beat machines are made for MIDI, and I haven't thought about combining MIDI and audio together. In the MV8000, I will say, bring both those worlds together in a unique way, because you get 8 tracks of audio, and with the pattern track, you get 9 tracks of audio, and up to 100 tracks, or 137 tracks of MIDI. But those 8 tracks of audio is important because that means that you could do the basic Pro Tools cut and edit style of producing. And a lot of producers is doing that now, and they're making computers on their laptop. So anybody who make their beats on their laptop, and you get tired of clicking your mouse and all the things that don't make it feel organic, a machine like this comes right in handy with you, because you get your 8 tracks of audio, you know what I mean, and you get all your MIDI tracks, and they both go together like this, no problem. And also, this machine has a shift step record on it, and so in some cases, my phrases is off beat. There's no tempo I can find to match it. But I could just put the phrase in, step record it, go to the next step, put another phrase in, and no matter what the tempo is, being that this has like an audio machine, it's like a small little Pro Tools in this machine as well. You know what I mean? So no matter what the tempo is, it still stays on beat, you know what I mean? And that helped me out a lot too. For me on this machine, I actually done everything with it, you know what I mean? I've recorded vocals into it. I've used it, and it comes with a whole gang of internal patches. The 808 in here is just as good as the classic first original 808 ever put out. I use that maybe for 80% of all my beats. So the keyboard sounds, you either could play them on your pad, or you can MIDI it up and play the octaves how you want it. So the sound that comes in it are very, very useful. But the way to get audio into it is also, to me, is more of a highlight. You got your turntable plug up right in the back. You plug your turntable right up to it. You don't need a mixer. You can plug in your mic. You can go in with your mic. You can plug in your guitar. Just last night, I think I recorded bass. One of the most famous pieces that every studio I go to, as well as I own myself, all my studios. I mean, started with the 1080. You know what I mean? We up to what, the 5080 now? I mean, the 1080, I think, basically defined the West Coast sound. I mean, I bought a 1080 based on knowing that the West Coast guys was using it, you know what I mean? And I got one of those back up east. And some of the sounds in there, the bass 101, the old Junos y'all put in there, that was one of the best modules that ever came out, you know what I mean? I think a lot of other modules copied it. But now I got the 3080 as well as the 5080, so I'm endless with that. I use many rolling products myself. I have the original Phantom. I have the Phantom with the sampler. One of my favorite of all, though, is this is one of my favorite. The second favorite is the MC909. Like I said, that turntable emulation feature that you put on that, and you control the wave and the sound like that. You also could plug up and control your DJ lights with it. And I remember when I first bought it, I bought that on Kill Bill. Actually, that one is on Kill Bill. I used that for Kill Bill. And we actually went to Mexico when they was filming Kill Bill. And I actually had it in my room making beats, for the film, right? And I guess one night, everybody wanted to have a party outside on the beach. And we go to the beach, and the guy brings the equipment, and I bought my MC, right? My Roland MC909. And it was just so cool, when I was playing the beats, slowing them down and doing all the waves, slow down, tempo, BPM, pitch control. I entertained everybody there. The girls is going crazy. The homies is like, yo, what is that? What is that machine? You know what I mean? So that machine is not only a good machine for producing, but it's a great machine for live. If you're on stage, you can plug up your DJ light system to it, synchronize it with your turntables, especially with the new CDJs and all those type of things. You can sync right up to it, and you can really put on a pretty unique show. I did a tour in Europe where I took it with me for about 30 days. And I danced with a few crowds with it as well, you know what I mean? And it's still relatively new because a lot of kids don't know about it, you know what I mean? My first Boss product was called Mr. Synth. And when you listen to that song, Shimmy Shimmy Ya by ODB, that was Mr. Synth, which only cost me about $200. And it was my first synth ever. And that's the piano sound you hear on Shimmy Shimmy Ya. You hear it on Hipper to the Hopper, ODB, Hipper to the Hopper, and You Just Don't Stop Her. Really, that whole first ODB album, a lot of the bass and keyboards came from a Boss sound module. You know what I'm saying? And Boss continue, I go back with Boss as far as the first Dr. Rhythms and all that. Anyway, you know what I mean? I've been a geek at this for a while. For people who don't got that pocket, when you first starting out, Boss, I think, offer products at a lower price that you could afford and still get the quality and definitely get the control you need over your sound to get you into the producing world. Yeah, y'all gonna look at this and say, hold on, I don't see that one in the store. We got this custom made. There's a guy named Bruce Furat, one of the great custom designers of all audio machines. And I had my MV8000, took it down to Bruce. We chose some colors, yellow and black, the Wu Tang colors. and he custom it out and made it look like a fat car. Like, you know what I mean? Like it looked like I go inside my Suburban with this, you know what I mean? Now, the original design is cool as well, but if you really want to get crazy, take it down to Bruce Forrat and you'll hook it up to your own speculations. Cuban Link Part 2, Raekwon the Chef. Rock stars and smoking barrels. Watch out for it.